Hi guys, Fraser Talks here, and today is a very special day for me because today I'll be upgrading the most powerful handheld console of the entire 90s. Even though it ironically was released in 1989, no handheld console, not even the Game Gear, not the Game Boy Color, no console was more powerful than the Atari Lynx right here. And right here I have the most common model, the Atari Lynx 2. Alright, so what I'm about to do is I'm about to install this clean screen mod, Atari Lynx 2 clean screen mod. And so we'll get to this in a second, right? I'm not going to show you the actual process of me doing it because it would be absolute hell if I messed up and bricked the console. So I just want to give that my full focus, but I'll show you the before and after. So this is the before. So before I do that, I actually just want to get some, I don't know, just some last sentimental, natural gameplay with my Atari Lynx 2 here. For my last playthrough, for my last playing session, I'm going to be playing this bad boy right here, Toki. So be right back. All right, we got Toki popped in. So let me go ahead and show you the magic. I hope you can see properly. Oh my gosh, can you even see? You see, that's a problem. It's a bunch of like front light, but like no backlight to balance it out. I have to go so close in order to get that. But hear that amazing Atari soundtrack. There's all the credits. Let me see if I can play with the brightness to make it look better for you guys. Does that look any better? That's turning down the bright. Okay, that is, yes. Give me a second. That seems to be the best. Okay, so basically you have to hold it at this angle right here, and you have to be so darn close in order to see anything. This is why this mod is just so needed. It is so absolutely so needed. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you guys the gameplay and film at the same time, so I'll just start off and probably die real quick. Give me a second. There we are. I'm gonna die. Okay, let me just move a little bit. No, don't kill me, please, don't kill me. Oh, darn. Okay, let me have some fun with this. Then the next time you see this console, this screen will not look this bad. Okay, welcome back everyone. For you, that was just a second ago, but for me, it's been about 4 or 5 hours ever since I have successfully completed the operation and installed the RetroSix Atari Lynx 2 clean screen mod. Incredibly easy to do. Only took me about an hour and a half, and I could have honestly done it like quicker if I first of all actually knew what I was doing, because I was just watching the video step by step, and I just really wanted to take my time, really take my time to get everything right, because I paid a lot of, well, not a lot of money for this thing, but it cost me like just as much as it did my Panasonic 3DO, which is about over 180 but not 190. So for an Atari Lynx 2, that is a really good price, but yeah, it's still a significant amount of money. So I just really want to take my time with it, to really get it right. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a moment there when I had like a mini heart attack when I turned it on, but the backlight didn't come on. But anyway, let's first get a few things out of the way. All right. First of all, it's not perfect. Well, it is perfect. All right, we'll get to the actual screen in a second, but the situation surrounding the RetroSix Atari Lynx 2 clean screen, the clean screen board and everything like that, I have 3 nitpicks. Okay, just 3 nitpicks before I get to glazing this product here. Okay, first of all, I think in the video, because he has a video on YouTube where he, goes through step by step of showing how to install the mod into the console, right? A very helpful, very, well put together video. One nitpick with that video is that I think that he should have included how to take apart the console. All right, and once you know how to take apart a Lynx, it is very, very simple. You just have to take out the rubber grips. These easily come off by just like putting your fingernails under there and just ripping them out. Right, there's 4 screws in there. You screw those out, and boom, you're already in the console. You just have to lift up the motherboard. Well, unscrew. Well, okay, this is connected to the motherboard. You unscrew that, so that unscrews the motherboard automatically. So when you lift up the cover, in the case, you just have to screw out the battery cover here, and you're basically inside of the console. And just have to unplug, take out the board, plug in the new board, the clean screen, the IPS screen, and screw them back in, and you're done and out of there in like less than an hour, right? If you know what you're doing, right? So once you know how to take it apart, that is easy to know how to take it apart and put it back together. But as someone new who doesn't really mod consoles or anything like that, or especially consoles like the Lynx, that people wouldn't like naturally know how to take apart in the best way possible, it would have been nice if you could have included footage of him taking apart the console. But that is just a nitpick. It's not like it's not something that he has to do. I just quickly found another video of the guy taking off the rubber pads at the back and getting in the console, so that was really, really helpful. Just took me like a minute or two of looking for another video. So yeah, not like a huge critique or like even a negative really, but just a little nitpick that would have made the kind of like put together the whole experience to just that one video instead of me having to go somewhere else to know how to take it apart, right? So that's the first nitpick. Nitpick number 2. All right, I'm trying to get these out in order here. All right, the board itself, I'm pretty sure that I took a picture, so you'll see a picture up on screen right now of the board itself, at least inside of the console, right? But I should have taken a picture of the problem that I had putting the board in the console. So okay, because the mod kit comes with the screen, the IPS screen, as well as the bracket that you have to put it in order for it to fit into this like rectangle square section right here, right at the back of the screen. So cool, right? In the video, you see him do it, and it goes in super, super smooth. All right, and he said, "Oh, just slide it into the bracket." First of all, mine went in, right, and it was snug enough, but there was still some space. I understand that he 3D prints them, because this isn't some huge company with some like factory line of people making this stuff to where pretty much all of them are damn near exactly the same, right? It's with 3D printing especially, I understand that there will be some will be a bit bigger, a bit smaller than others, but they'll all basically work, and this basically worked, right? So it wasn't the snuggest fit, but that isn't even the problem for me. The problem was that after he put it in the bracket and put it to face the screws at the back of the screen in order to fixate it there, when he shook his, it didn't fall off, and he made a point to say that it wouldn't fall off, right? But mine didn't fit like inside of the grooves, because it is about this big. It is about this big behind the screen, but the bracket itself is like up to here, right? So it's a bit bigger than that. So while it is sitting there, it's not sitting inside of the square to where if you just put it in without screwing it down, it won't fall out. So I had to hold it and maneuver around when I'm like plugging in the ribbon cables and stuff like that. So that was kind of cumbersome. So it didn't fit perfectly snug. I'm not sure, because the video itself is a few years old, about 2 or 3 years old, and comparing what I received in my mod kit compared to what he had at the time about 2 or 3 years ago, there were some slight differences, right? I think back then the IPS screen had a silver, like a silver like mini bracket around the screen module itself, and if you wanted it black, you either had to put tape over it or take off the silver bracket, which would then just reveal the perfectly black outline of the screen, so that you wouldn't see like silver around here when you're playing games and stuff. The one that I had came black. I didn't have to put any tape or take anything off. The bracket itself that it came in was already black. So yeah, there were some differences, but that's not a problem. The problem was that it just didn't fit, so I had to kind of like hold it in place while I was doing all the technical stuff, which is putting in the ribbon cables and stuff like that, and unplugging and stuff like that. And when it came time, especially when it came time for me to screw in the screen in the bracket to the back here for it to stay behind the motherboard, first of all, the screws are different sizes compared to the original ones. I have the screws in a box over here, but it doesn't really matter to show you them. But yeah, the original Atari Lynx screws are bigger, and the ones that he put for his bracket, because his bracket is smaller, of course the screws and the screw holes would be smaller. So the screws do go in, but since the original Lynx 2 screws and bracket were bigger, they don't go in all the way. So even though you screw it all the way down to the board itself, there's still some shakiness to it. There was still some shakiness to it. And, that, I don't like that, because I just, it was fine, it doesn't affect gameplay or anything. But but it was shaky, once I put it back together and I shook the console, you would hear it kind of shaking back and forth between the back of the screen itself here and the motherboard, which is right behind it. That is a problem that I fixed thanks to my third nitpick, which was on the motherboard itself. On the LCD screen motherboard itself, there is a section where it controls the backlight, and there's a little tiny switch on there which gives you the option to either have the backlight off or always on, because once you take out the old screen and put in this new one, you automatically lose function of the brightness wheel up here, so you won't be able to use that. So that's why that switch is there, to always have the new IPS screen backlight on. That I knew going in, that you would lose the brightness wheel, so that's whatever. I expected that. It's whatever. I don't really care. Why would I even want to turn the brightness down? The whole point is to fix the brightness. Anyway, so the problem came when I did the whole process. I was following the video step by step, did the whole process. He put the console back together and turned it on right after he put in all the cables and stuff, right? So right after he finished putting in all the cables and stuff, he just put in back the regular motherboard at the back of the IPS screen LCD motherboard thing, and just basically put the console back together, turned it on, and boom, it worked. So I'm like, oh, okay, step by step, did exactly what he did, put it back together, turned it on, black screen. All right, I was wearing a headlamp at the time, right? Because of the tiny screws and stuff, I didn't want to lose anything, and to just see the best side, so I was wearing a headlamp. So I'm pointing the headlamp at the screen when I turned it on, because the power itself was on, but the screen was black. Pointing the light at it, I could see that the IPS LCD was working in the back, but the brightness, something was wrong with the brightness. I'm like, damn, what did I do wrong? Did I not plug in a cable properly? Did I damage the cable? I was worried sick. All right, because if I brick this thing, if I have to buy another kit or something, or another ribbon cable, which, because of where I live, it would take, like, at best, like 3 weeks or so to actually get to me. That would be a huge bummer, right? But as it turns out, right, watching the video, because I had just stopped up to the part where he turned on the console. I kept on watching, and he got to the point, like, where afterwards he already showed the menu and stuff like that, all the different options that you get when you install the IPS LCD. He already showed that, and then he said he was not talking about optional stuff, like, if you want to use the brightness wheel, if you want to still be able to control the brightness of the screen, there's this thing you can do where you solder off two little things on the motherboard. And he briefly mentioned the, well, no, my mistake. That was actually the first time during that optional thing that he was talking about, where he mentioned the switch on the motherboard, because I had looked at it, like, briefly, right, but I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think that it was an actual switch. I just thought that it was, like, just automatically on by itself, right, or automatically set to on by itself. But that wasn't the case, right? So it turns out that the problem that I was having with the system wasn't anything wrong that I had done. It was just that the LCD screen board that came here to install was automatically set to off, right? As if I wanted to maybe, I mean, it's a simple, like, thing, like, it's like I said, these aren't actual problems for me. They're just nitpicks. They're just small little nitpicks that just did not make the experience as smooth as I would have liked it to be. All right, so they're not like actual super problems or anything like that, right? But it would have been really nice, especially, like, everything else is just, kind of my fault, kind of maybe, like a nitpicky whatever, right? But this one especially almost gave me a heart attack, because I thought that I messed it up. But turns on, all that I had to do was to switch the tiny little switch on the motherboard to the on position in order to have the backlight always on, right? Because I'm not sure if this is how he sends it to other people, but mine was set to off, and I didn't want to touch anything, mess anything up with the motherboard, so I didn't touch anything that he told me not to touch in the video, right? So it would have, or like, even if it came off, it would have been nice to hear earlier in the video, before you put it back together, that you need to make sure that the backlight on switch is set to on, so that when you put it together and turn it on, it'll be just automatically always on. Like, that would have been great to hear that, so that I wouldn't have to have this mini heart attack and then go back in thinking that I screwed things up. So that's my biggest, like, nitpick with it. Again, not really a problem, because I watched further on in the video, and he does mention that, when it's in the on position, it's always on, so that basically turns it on. And you can turn it off and solder off two stuff to control the brightness, if that's something that you want to do. So that would have been really, really helpful if I had heard that earlier in the video before you close it up. But those are just my 3 little nitpicks right there. Time to get the glaze. All right, now this, oh boy, I expected it to be beautiful, but man, I didn't expect it to be this beautiful. All right, now it won't come out the best here, but compare this to what we saw earlier. All right, compare this to what we had, to what I showed you earlier. Look at that beautiful screen. Look at that beautiful IPS display. Just nasty. Just oh my gosh, that is just such a beautiful, beautiful screen. It is super bright. I'm not sure how well it's gonna come out to you guys, how bright and just how sharp everything is, but it is super bright. It is super great. I 100% recommend this mod to anyone who owns an Atari Lynx or an Atari Lynx 2. I'm not sure. He said that if you have an Atari Lynx 1, okay, I'm not remembering correctly. There may be like a little bit of soldering or like just one part that you have to solder for the Lynx 1, but for the Lynx 2 it is drop-in. And I'm pretty sure that most people have Lynx 2s because when I look online on like YouTube videos and stuff, most people have Lynx 2s, right? So but yeah, so this is how the game looks now. 100 times better than what it was before. This shipped really, really quickly, and it was really, really easy to put in. I just take your time, make sure, you know, because those ribbon cables can be kind of finicky, and you can kind of feel like you're tearing it or something. But they are really strong cables. You just have to handle them the right way, give them all that good care and love and stuff like that. And this is the result, man. Because now I can actually see. It's like wearing glasses and seeing color for the first time. It is just so great. I love this screen so much, man. And I'm gonna give most of these games a second chance with this screen because that was the problem as to why I just wasn't getting through in a bunch of them, especially Hydra and Electro Cop, like especially those two. So yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of fun, a bunch of hours spent with this. Just the most, I can't stress this enough. Just a very, very underrated console. It has a bunch of great games on it. Uh, really, really ahead of its time. It came out like around the same time, at least in the same year as the original Game Boy. And yeah, if it had just like a wider third party library, I'm pretty sure that this would have been a bigger hit. And the battery life did not help it. But yeah, Target is great. So please enjoy me dying a couple of times. You know what? I think I can actually. I think that I can actually try some gameplay. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, let me try and get this. Give me a second. I'm trying to. Give me. Okay, let me. If I twitch my. Okay, how's that look? All right. But yeah, man, this is such a great mod. Crap, 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 crap. It's hard to focus on this on the camera. But yeah, man, this is such a great mod. If you have an Atari Lynx, you definitely need to get this. The guy's name is RetroSix. RetroSix. Really, really, really great guy, man. He does a really great job explaining the stuff. And damn it, my hand just keeps moving. But yeah, he does a really good job explaining the stuff. This shipped super, super quick, way, way quicker than I thought it was gonna come. Gosh, I cannot play this. I'm sorry. I can't focus right now. But yeah, really, really great mod. As you can see, works tremendously well. Really easy to put together. Just a few little nitpicks that I had here and there. I would 100% recommend it if you have an Atari Lynx. This is damn near a must buy. Follow him on shop.com. He has a bunch of other cool modding stuff for consoles. Everything's selling at a great price, man, because this is even cheaper than the Ben Ben mod, right? Because the Ben Ben mod would have run me up to about like around like $90 or so. And this was like $74, but after tax it went up to about 80, 81, $82, something like that. So still cheaper than the Ben Van mod, plus it shipped super quick. So yeah, definitely made the great choice to go with the RetroSix Atari Lynx 2 clean screen mod. Again, I cannot glaze this up. This is a game changer. This is a life changer. It brings new life into your Atari Lynx, because now not only do I have a great looking console, but now my great looking console has a great looking screen, right? It's not only recap doesn't even matter right now, but yeah, man, I really need to get on my Atari Lynx library, man, because I can't just be playing Toki all the time, as much as I love playing it, because it's pretty much just Toki and Electro Cop, you know. And Miss Pac-Man. I'm gonna keep trying with Miss Pac-Man. The rest of these games just aren't for me, even though they are great games. They're just not for me personally. I just kind of messed up. I really gotta get Ninja Gaiden, Xenophobe, Rygar looks fun. Stun Runner looks fun. You know what I'm saying? Checkered Flag, because I always need to have a racing game. Gotta have that in my library. There's not really much else to say, man. I just really enjoyed this experience. I bought a really good product at a really good price. Again, RetroSix. This is not an ad. Atari Lynx 2, clean screen, 100% recommended. Great customer service. And before I forget, you're probably wondering why this is so close to the screen right now. This is a token. I love when sellers do this. This is a token that RetroSix included with my IPS screen order. He put in this lovely skeleton keychain. Now, to you, because I'm shooting this in regular, I think it's 720. This might even be 480. I don't know. Sorry about the camera quality, but I have to save some space on my phone. It may not show up really well, but this isn't just a regular red skeleton, which by itself is already cool. This is beautiful. I don't know how well this is gonna come out. I'm gonna try and put this in light. See that shining thing, man? It's like plastic, but there's a thin fabric over it that when you put it into light, it looks like a skeleton. That's not what I meant. I meant like it looks like a white skeleton. It's kind of like glisten. It gives it this really weird, like ethereal glow. Like look at those like the lines on like the. I especially like it on like the rib cage and the chest cavity there. I'm gonna try and get this. See, look at that. Look at the effect. That is super cool. That is so cool. I love this so much. Thank you, RetroSix. This is so great. How thoughtful of you, man. But yeah, this is really cool. So, RetroSix, thank you so much. You have blessed the Atari Lynx community. Now we can enjoy games on the Lynx as they should have been from the beginning, but they did not have the technology to do so. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Fraser Talks. I talk about everything that I feel like talking about. I don't really care at this point. I used to have a purpose for this channel, but now I just kind of talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. It doesn't matter if it's games, comics, movies, whatever I feel like talking about, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to release the video. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Get yourself an Atari Lynx, man. This is a massive beast of a console. So comfortable. Unlike that dirty Nintendo Switch Lite, which feels like a tablet with buttons. And no grip either. And just uncomfortable thumbsticks. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's been Fraser Talks. Goodbye.